today is June 13th, 2022, and I'm here. Can you see me?
Deepak, Jhand.
Thanks. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Nice. Do you mind telling us your date of birth?
I was born June 19th, 1984.
And where were you born?
Surrey, British Columbia.
Oh, nice. Okay. And so, can you first tell us, do you know anything about your last name or the history behind it?
I don't know too much about my last name, honestly. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but our family is from India and we immigrated here. So my dad came in 1980, my mom 1970.
So your mom came first?
Yeah, she was here first. She did high school here, and then she married my dad and then he came here. And my sister was born in 1982, and shortly after, I have a twin brother. So that's about it for our family.
Mm-hmm. Do you know why your parents, or I guess your mom came for
My mom?
Yeah, high school, but I mean like your grandparents, did they come with her or?
Yeah, the whole family came. It was like my grandpa, his 5 brothers, so they all came here just for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically better education.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any like interesting stories about your family history or that you know of?
In 1947, during the India partition, my family they were living in what's now Pakistan, and they were since we were Sikh, they wanted us to, well, the government basically told them to move to India, so they moved to India, and on the way there, a lot of my grandpa's family got malaria, including my grandpa, and 19 of them actually died. So his grandparents died on the trip, and a bunch of aunts and uncles. So a total of 19 people that died. And I think I was reading up on it, it was 1 million people total that died on that trip. So that was pretty much, that was it for that. Yeah. Well, my grandpa survived.
Yeah.
And he was telling me to throw him on a horse so he can make the trip quicker and get to home. So that was pretty big part of our family history.
Wow. How old was he at the time?
I think he was about 1947. He was like 10 to 12 years old.
Oh wow, so
yeah, he was young.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been through a lot.
Yeah. Do you have any like memorabilia or heirlooms that are passed down to you?
No, we don't have anything like that.
Okay.
I think a lot of stuff was lost in that trip. Even my dad's side of the family, they were from there too. Mm-hmm. So it's basically just leaving everything behind and moving. So we don't really have much to that, yeah.
And your family was Sikh, do you still practice?
No, I'm not practicing. We go to the temple just for weddings or birthdays, but not on a regular basis or nothing. Yeah, I'm Sikh. I'm Canadian.
Yeah. So. Totally. So I guess, so for like yourself growing up, you want to talk about your education and how you started?
Well, I went to high school in Cloverville, and after high school, I didn't go out until secondary school. I was basically just started working at a very young age. I was really young. I should have been working at that age, but yeah, so I moved out of my home at early age, and I just was always into business. My dad had a business, so that was kind of my passion, always to work for myself. And there's a lot of ups and downs, failures, but just kept going, still going,
Yeah.
learning every day, and yeah, that was about it.
What was your first business that you?
My first business, we used to do like property management. Sorry, like maintenance, property maintenance work. Did that for a few years and got into a car accident a couple times, and it was a little harder to do. And then I opened a convenience store in Surrey. I had that for about 7 years now. And then recently we just opened Tri-City Snacks in February of this year, 2022. So yeah, that's all right now.
What's your Surrey store called?
Fraser Stop and Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it like a reason you wanted to have a different sort of very different names?
Well, that store we sell more like vapes and smoking accessories.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a lot of regulations around, new regulations coming up around the vaping, and the future's a little uncertain, I guess. And I just wanted to do something different, have a little bit of a backup plan too, and less regulations dealing with snacks and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of why I started this business. And I love the area too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to live in this area.
Uh-huh.
Because we'd always come over the bridge, and it's like, you just see like all the houses on the hill, and I'm like, I want to live there one day with a nice view. So yeah, and the neighborhood's great. I love the neighborhood. The people, they're really friendly, and yeah, it's a good community.
So have you like moved here now, or are you still?
No, I live in close to Langley, just on the border.
Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't moved yet.
But planning on to.
Well, hopefully the prices of houses are pretty high.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But like, how did you like? Because I believe there was a store before, corner store that was there before you came in.
Yeah.
How did you hear about it?
So actually, we were actually driving by, just me and my wife, and I saw the store and someone was fixing the roof, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a perfect store." I wasn't looking at the time, and I was like, "This would be a nice store," and that was probably last year, so 2021, and April, and then 2 months later, I got a call from a friend that said there's a store that's up for lease, and it was a day before my birthday. So I was like, okay. I'm like, he's like, you want to do it? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he told me what store it was, and I'm like, this is a coincidence or meant to be. So we ended up, just talking about the lease, and it took a few months. We had to renovate. It was closed for about 10 months. So there was a lot of work to be done, and it took us about 4 or 5 months to renovate it. We did a lot of the work ourselves, and that was it. It just happened out of the blue. So I just went with the feeling, I had a good feeling about it, and just went with it.
Nice. Did you know the previous owners, or was it just like do it?
No, I didn't know them at all, but. Yeah, it was just through like a mutual friend that introduced us.
Nice. And so it's like a lot of like I guess how has it been like since you've opened? How has it been running the store?
Well, getting it open was the hardest part because you're paying rent while you're trying to get it open.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feelings, and it's like I'm still learning too, and I had no patience, but it actually worked out that it took us a little time because we had our sign up and people would walk by. So since the first day, it's been busy. So there's a lot of people waiting for us to open. So as soon as we opened, it was busy. Yeah, it's been good ever since.
And I guess. Well, I guess you said like what like the the opening was the most challenging part.
Yeah.
So far, what's something that's been like surprising or?
I surprisingly, like, we hired people that were living nearby, so we actually got very lucky. It's a mother and daughter, and they've been amazing. Like, I couldn't ask for better employees, and it's been very smooth for me after opening. Better than I expected, for sure. There's always like so many little challenges in hiring people, and it's been nice having them around, for sure. And they're from the community, so they know, they grew up here, the mom and the daughter, so yeah, they know a lot of the people and the area very well. So yeah, it's been nice.
And is there any like you said you like wanted to, like, for this store you wanted to get to snacks and stuff. Is there any like special products or something, or specific snacks that you?
Well, there's always something coming out. So it's like a lot of limited edition stuff and things that we saw when we were kids that, you know, we're starting to sell, like a lot of the Fruity Pebble stuff. I love Flintstones as a child, so that's really a big seller for us. And yeah, we sort of find anything that's new and unique that most stores don't carry. So that's like kind of our game plan, and it works.
Nice. And your other store is still open, correct?
Yeah, it's still open.
So how's it like balancing between the two?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. There's sometimes you have to work every day. Even if you're not working there, you're still working.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm working in my sleep. But I think every day I'm just trying to like make it easier for myself. So we're trying to automate everything, computer, you know, so I can do things. I don't have to be in the store. I can be, you know, doing it from home.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it easier for me. Because one day I want to open another location, and I'll have to make sure everything's more automated.
Yeah.
Before I do that.
Would it be like a similar sort of like as the convenient, like this Tri-City one, or would it be?
I think it all depends on the area. So right now it's really hard to find a place.
Yeah.
It's really expensive, especially new buildings. So the challenge is finding the right spot, and then once you find it, then you can kind of see like what the community needs, and what service would work there. But it would be either or a mixture of both. Yeah.
And so what made you like see that like Coquitlam, where you are, needed a like more of a convenience store?
Yeah. So when we drove by there, right away I noticed there's schools. There's like a middle school, there's a high school, community center, library. And we initially were not planning, but we were like, okay, well, maybe we'll sell vapes and whatnot. But once we opened the store, we just realized that, okay, we're going to keep it 90% candies and snacks and drinks. Because there's just a lot of kids around, and we don't really want to bring that to near all the schools. So it's basically just mostly snacks now. Yeah, that's what the areas, I guess, needs. So those schools, when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to the snack store at lunchtime, before school or after.
Yeah. So
it's kind of, we just figure it's going to do better in this area.
What's your favorite part about running stores?
Favorite part, I'd say I could just wake up and take a day off if I want to. But, right, and I kind of just like doing my own thing. Like I don't have anyone really telling me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like I kind of enjoy that part about it. And yeah, it's probably the best part about it for me.
Like how has like what have you? I guess it's like from both of your experiences, not just through Tri-City Snacks, but like or how is like working at the Fraser what's it called, sorry?
Oh yeah, Fraser Stop.
Fraser Stop. How's that like helped you with Tri-City Snacks?
Well, definitely like just I learned a lot from that store. I had no experience when I started, so when I started this one, there's a lot of things that I already knew that helped me. Like I already had a lot of contacts with suppliers and good relationships with them already.
Yeah.
So it was simple, like just to get everything going.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely made a difference that I already had experience. It made it easier for sure.
Would you mind talking about your first couple years with Fraser Stop and how that growing that business was?
It was tough. We never, because I was only focused on that. I didn't have any other income coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really tough because we never, I think the first year we didn't even pay ourselves. So, you know, it was tough. And just hiring people and learning about just everything, like your POS system, your debit machines and all that stuff. It was just, I learned it all from just trial and error.
Yeah.
So this store, I try to make sure I don't make the same mistakes. But yeah, it was a challenge for sure. Just hiring people, training them, managing, and it was a challenge for sure. It took us about 5 years just to get it to a good level where we are finally doing well.
And you say us, is that you like with your wife, or do you have like a business partner?
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, you say us? Is that like you?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. When I started, I had a business partner,
Okay.
but I bought him out, and he started another business. So it was easier with him around. And then they got tough again when he left.
Mm-hmm.
And I managed, and I've been managing it now on my own for 5 years.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, it's been
It's been 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you like? How do you get to know the community when you're working at these stores?
Well, I haven't been working at Tri-City too much lately.
Yeah.
But you just have to work the till, basically. And I used to hate working the till. I remember my first second job was at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm going to go in there and just work in the back, flipping burgers. But they actually threw me in the front. And I was not a good, I didn't have any good customer service skills. I was just a quiet kind of guy. And I guess McDonald's was a good place to work in high school. So they threw me in the front where I was most uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just learned and started talking to people. And I think after just meeting people is cool. Just meeting different people, all walks of life, and just talking to everyone. I just loved it after that. So yeah, I enjoy talking to everyone, like just hearing people's stories, and sometimes some people don't have many people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'll talk about life, and I just go with it. I enjoy hearing about it, so it's been nice for sure.
Do you have like a story that you could share with us about a customer experience?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many stories. Well, Well, this is one girl at Tri-City here. She lives across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's Ava. The first day we opened, she came in. I can't remember if she brought her grandma. I think it was a grandma or grandpa. Then the next day she brought her grandpa, or one or the other. And then the next day she brought her mom. And someone else. She just kept bringing friends, and she's been coming she comes very often. So I remember her. She's young. She's maybe under 10 years old.
Oh, so this is like a little child that's coming in.
Yeah.
Nice.
But she's bringing everyone one by one.
Yeah, she's doing her home.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you allow pets in your store?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I have a dog too. I love pets. So we don't mind as long as they're leashed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever bring your dog in?
Yeah, she used to come. But she's a little wild one, so we can't. It's a little hard. She can't let her run around. She'll just run out the door.
What's her name?
Bailey.
Yeah.
She's a little marky, 7 pounds.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you have a different customer base between your stores?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's totally different. Here it's a lot of kids. Maybe starting at 3 till people are coming. Even older people are coming in. With a lot of families come in, parents with their kids. The other store we have it's all people over 19.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a total different crowd. There's not many kids that come in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how do you advertise your?
Actually, our other store we didn't advertise for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was all word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much going on right now with online. So we've started to advertise, just mostly Google search, SEO, Instagram. For Tri-City, we haven't done too much yet. We haven't advertised much at all there. It's all the local community, just people in the area coming there,
Mm-hmm.
driving by.
And I guess COVID wouldn't really have affected you when you opened your store. So I guess during renovations, was that a worry when you're doing that, or do you think?
Well, it was kind of dying down at that time, but we did have a lot of challenges at my other store because someone's exposed. I didn't have many employees there at that time. It was just me and another guy running it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough because he didn't get COVID, but someone in his family got it, so he's off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Then again, he's exposed. He's off again. So I was left just manning the ship by myself, and it was really scary sometimes because I remember just walking outside and looking out, and there's no cars on the road, and everyone was just inside, and it was just me there. It was very slow, and it was actually a scary time because I didn't know what was going to happen, but out of the blue, it just went. It got so busy, our sales doubled because everyone thought there was going to be a lockdown.
Yeah.
And once that happened, it was crazy. Yeah.
Do you know why? Sort of thing?
Well, I think it's because people thought there was going to be a lockdown because I think there was lockdowns happening in Italy.
Right. Okay.
And I think that's when it really this is coming.
Stuff sort of thing?
So what's that?
Trying to hoard?
Yeah, basically a hoard. People were coming in, and then a lot of people were getting checks from the government.
Mm-hmm.
So people they were buying things that they would never have bought before. I know, we have a lot of weekly clients,
mm-hmm.
so people are spending a lot of money. That's basically what happened there.
Was it because you said you only had like the one employee like working with you at the time? Was that because of COVID, or was it?
No, we weren't that busy. We were okay. Like I was fine working. Me and him worked together. It was fine, and then we just got busier after COVID.
Okay.
So then I actually hired a couple more people. Now I have actually a team of like 5-6 people now. Some part-time, and I'm there less now. So yeah, it was also challenging to find people during COVID while we were busy.
Yeah.
I just gave up. I was like, I'm just gonna have to work. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there.
And for your personal life, were you affected much by COVID?
Oh yeah. Well, my wife, she actually manages a care home. Yeah, so she worked in Lynn Valley. It was on the news quite a lot. We call it Death Valley. But yeah, the first death in Canada happened at her site.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so her entire staff quit. And they didn't quit, sorry, they just never came to work. So her and another supervisor had to take on a big role. Like, it was a big facility too, so it was a hard time. She was working like 18 hours a day. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a tough time for us for sure. But we got through it, and it made us stronger. Yeah.
Do you have kids or?
No, we don't have kids. Yeah, we just have a dog.
I guess it's probably a good thing if you're like if both of you are super busy with.
Yeah. Well, we need to.
Yeah.
We need to have kids.
You need to have kids.
She wants to have kids now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's ready.
Nice. How long have you been married?
We're almost 10 years. Yeah, we've been together for a long time. 15 years now. Yeah.
And going back, you said you worked at project management. Is that what you said, or?
No, it was just like property maintenance.
Oh, property maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What made you decide to go down that route initially?
I don't know, like when I started, like I started with my dad, and he used to make like portable shelters and like party tents. He would manufacture them.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't know what I wanted to do at that time. I was pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember just one time, my mom has a big yard, so we fixed it all up for her one year. Mm-hmm. And after that, I was like, let's maybe start a business. So after doing my mom's yard, it's like a big 12,000 square foot, and there's gardens all over it. Mm-hmm. And that was just how we started. I'm like, let's start a business. And from there, it went on for a few years. And yeah, it was hard work though.
Yes.
So after I got in the car accident, I just kind of gave it up.
Do you have any like events or something that you could foresee happening with Tri-City Snacks?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to get involved, especially with kids events. Mm-hmm. Recently, my friend Raj, who's in real estate, he put on an event for mental health, and Kids Play sponsored it, or they're a part of it. Yeah. It was on long weekend. I was actually leaving town that day, so I actually sponsored like a table and gave away like a gift basket worth $150. But yeah, if there's a kids events in the neighborhood, like we're in for that for sure. And I think there's like a car show happening on the 25th. We're trying to get a booth in there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for sure, if it's like around the neighborhood and the school's doing something, we would definitely get involved in that for sure.
And is it like at your store itself, would you like I don't know, celebrate like a holiday or something, and at the store like put up decorations or stuff?
I think we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Halloween for sure.
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, like we celebrate everything. And definitely, like we missed out this year on Easter because everyone's coming in. We were just not prepared for Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit, but not much. So definitely like Halloween, Christmas time, we'll be decorating.
Yeah. Nice. And have you found like so far, like, is there being like a popular item that's being made?
Popular item, did I write down? Oh yeah, we have a Prime hydration drink. That one's really popular. And then yeah, like Fruity Pebbles white chocolate bar. That's been really popular for us. And just we have a lot of like drinks that are from the US. Canned drinks. Those are doing really well for us also.
I've heard like do you know like why is like sort of the US canned drink so popular? Do you know?
Well, they have a lot of flavors. There's a lot like cherry vanilla, cherry coke.
Oh, okay.
They have a lot more variety than us. And I think like, well, this whole like candy craze, it all started like right at the beginning of COVID, basically, and Dankmart really is the one that started this all. Took it to a different level. So I think ever since the borders were closed, people couldn't go there, and I think people don't go there as much anymore.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's here to stay. The craze, right?
Right.
And yeah, they have way more things over there than we do. A lot of limited edition, and they have more like sports teams, and now there's a lot of athletes and all, behind all these drinks.
Right.
So they're really, really popular, especially if you can't get it here. So anything you can't get here, we try to get.
Right.
Yeah.
So how is it like finding those suppliers?
It's not easy. You have to find the transportation. Sometimes getting these things shipped over, like just regular shipping's the same amount as the product.
Yeah.
So sometimes we will pay for it, but eventually, like if it's something we know it's gonna sell, we'll just order it in a large amount. But it's definitely been tougher since after COVID. Before it was easy, just online, quickly buy something. Now I have to look through multiple suppliers. Sometimes it takes hours to find.
And do you yourself have like a favorite merchandise?
I would say yeah. I would say the Fruity Pebbles is the Prime would be like my favorite. Prime's it's a really good tasting drink. It's not cheap, but it tastes really good.
Yeah. And anything underrated in your store?
Oh, I have to ask the employee this today. She was saying the Dippin' Dots popcorn. It's like it comes in a cotton candy flavor and caramel. There might be a few others, but those are really, she said, they're really good. And maybe you just got to display them differently. But yeah, I'd say that'd be it.
Thanks for coming to the end. Is there any advice or anything that you would like to say to Whitlam?
People? That's a good question, actually. I would say, I don't know, it's a good question, actually. I don't know what to say. I really don't. All I can say, it's a beautiful place and a great community, and just build the community, stay together and work hard.
Nice.
That's my best advice.
Nice. Good. Okay. Thank you for participating.
Thank you for having me.